I would like to invite Mr. Jos De Blok from Netherlands to take the mic and take us through the topic Community as an Ecosystem for Healthy and Sustainable Living. Josh, all yours. Can we have his introduction, please?
Jos De Blok. His groundbreaking approach has revolutionized home-based healthcare in Netherlands, shaping it into a globally admired model that fosters autonomy, efficiency, and compassion. Today, he connects highly qualified nurses with clients to create sustainable, proactive solutions, ensuring dignified and effective care at home. Renowned for his forward-thinking ideas, Mr. De Blok is a sought-after keynote speaker who continually drives positive change in the healthcare sector. His leadership and tireless dedication serve as an inspiration, transforming the future of nursing and improving countless lives worldwide. To welcome Jos De Blok.
Hear me? Yes? Okay. Yeah, thank you for being here. As been said, I'm a nurse. So if anybody needs help, louder? Yeah? Okay, thank you. Also in the back, can you hear me? Can you hear me in the back? Louder? Louder? So loud? Okay. Good. Yeah, as nurses we are not used to speak so loud, because then the patients get scared. It's working, but they can't hear me well, I said. Yeah? I will try. I have my laptop here.
Jos, is this the mic or is it me? All right.
I have the laptop on this side. Okay. Then I will use this one. It makes it also easier to walk a bit around. I wanted to start with to say that I have a very peaceful youth. I come from a Catholic family with 4 boys and 1 girl. And I think I can remember one fight, and after that I became pacifist. So I have a long history with peace. In Dutch it's called vrede. Vrede is a nice word. And I'm brought up with the idea that we should take care for each other in this world. And that the world is bigger than the Netherlands. Although I come from a very small village. I studied economics, but I didn't want to work in the world of money. So after my first depression, I became a nurse. And this was the most beautiful time of my life. Taking care for people is very, very meaningful. After a while, in the Netherlands, the system changed into a very bureaucratic system. And I decided to create my own organization with the purpose that it was good for patients and it was nice to work in for nurses. I called it buurtzorg. And buurtzorg means neighborhood care, neighborhood nursing care. Because I think that on the level of the neighborhood, we can influence everything. If you see the scale of the neighborhood, you can connect with people easily, and you can oversee what you're doing. Okay, I will give you a short overview of what buurtzorg does and is, and what we have achieved throughout the years. What I wanted to show is that when somebody is ill, that it's not only the diagnosis, but it's also the history of some of the people who are ill, and that you have to look at people from a holistic perspective. As already been said several times, it's not only the physical thing, but it's also the social, the mental, and the spiritual part of people. That's part of what's happening. We focus on relationships. If you know what it means to have care from a doctor or a nurse, the relationship is very, very important. So I wanted to create an environment where relationships could flourish. Then we said you have to learn from what we are doing. So we have to focus on outcome, on results of what we're doing, so we can transfer the knowledge about what we are doing, and we can constantly learn. Then most healthcare systems are very bureaucratic. So what I wanted to do is to skip the healthcare from the administration. So we built an IT company and we built the software to support the nurses in the best possible way. So at the end, as I already said, the scale of the neighborhood, in my opinion, is a scale that people can connect with other people, professionals can connect with professional workers, and patients can also be involved, and volunteers and informal networks. Most of what we are doing in the future, I think we should also look back in what we can learn from the past. In the Netherlands, we had a history of community nursing, which was already 100 years old. And my idea is we bring some of these old principles again to life. So I started an organization with small teams. My idea is when 10 people are working together in a neighborhood, they can organize everything themselves. So I'm not very fond of hierarchies. My idea is that hierarchies are leading to very negative consequences. So I thought if you create independent teams from a maximum of 12 nurses in neighborhoods, from 5 to 10,000 people, they can organize everything themselves. They can hire their own colleagues, and they can connect with the doctors in the neighborhoods and with the patients. And that's what we did. And from the first moment, throughout the country, nurses came to us and said, we want to work this way. We know that this is the best way we can take care for our patients. We started just with one team, with 4 nurses in 2006, at the end of 2006. And in 10 years' time, we became the biggest home care organization in the Netherlands. So 10,000 nurses joined us all over the country, and at the end we had almost 1,000 teams working from the north till the south. I don't know if you know the Netherlands. It's a very small country, but big enough to get lost. We have now 10,000 nurses, and we have also 5,000 care workers. So in total we have 15,000 people. We get every month we get 100 new nurses who are applying for us. We have 100,000 patients a year, and we don't have a management structure. So we don't have managers within the whole organization. We only have 2 directors. One of them is me, and the other one is my son, because I'm going to retire at the end of the year, and my son is taking over. It's a foundation. It's a not-for-profit foundation, because I want to focus on the public interest of healthcare. We have a turnover of around 500 million euros a year, which is, in the Netherlands, we are far out the biggest home care organization. And at this moment, there are almost 15,000 nurses working. I studied 2 years of economics, I said. We have a very simple financial structure, and that is, if there is enough money coming in for all the expenses we are doing well. So that's so we have income and costs, and we only have 2 pages on which we report our results. So that's it. We have 3 guidelines. So we have a very simple organization. We have 3 guidelines. One is we want to deliver the best possible healthcare. 2, we want that the nurses can work in an environment that they're happy in, that they can join with their colleagues, they can talk about everything they meet in their daily work, and they can connect in the neighborhoods with all the networks that are important for them. And the 3rd one is the financially healthy environment. We want that every team is financially healthy, so we don't get financial problems. That's all we do. We don't monitor it very directly. The teams know what they have to do, and every year we have the same results for 18 years now. We also get some medals. One of them is the Albert Medal, and I got it in London, and it's because of the social impact that we had. And I was a bit surprised because I thought it was a commercial. I got a letter from London, but it was a long list of this prize exists for 250 years, and like Churchill won the prize and a lot of other people, so that was quite an honor. We also now give lessons at Harvard. So the Harvard made a study case about us, and you see here on the picture my two sons giving lessons to 1,200 MBA students. We also took over another organization. At a certain moment, an organization got bankrupt in the Netherlands, and the ministry called me and they said, can you help us? I said, yeah, but we don't need the organization. We only want to give the workers their work. So we don't want the structure of the organization. So at the end, we took over almost 2,500 people, and also they started to work in self-organized teams from one day to another, and everything went well. We raised the salaries, and they became the most profitable part of the organization. We raised the salaries again last January, because this is a group of people who are on the lowest salary ranges in the country. This is our model. So there has also been talking about empowerment. I think we should empower everybody. So when you take care for a patient, you should empower the patient and its environment and its family. And it has a lot to do with education and with knowledge exchange. So if you teach the patients how to do things themselves, they can help themselves again. And that's in this way, with this model, we were able to reduce the costs in healthcare for this part with 50%. So by focusing on the ethics of nurses, we reduced the cost with 50%. Important is that there is no managerial control on this. So the idea is that you have to control everything and that management is good for being effective and efficient. I don't share that opinion. It's taking away the ownership of people, and I think that we should just give as much as possible ownership to the citizens and to the nurses, so that communities can flourish and they can help themselves again. We started all kinds of other services like mental care, already mentioned several times. We have pensions, the places where people can stay for some days or some weeks. We have hospice places, we have youth care. So all kinds of these services are based on the same principles and are growing by itself. So we started, I think, in total 15 companies or more. I never wanted to start a company actually, but I think it was needed. There are some principles at the base of our worldview. One is that we want to serve patients, so we focus on the needs of people. Two is that we want to attune to what's happening. So every situation is different, so you have to follow the patterns of the people who need care. And the third one, it's already mentioned before, trust. Trust is a very, very important thing. All these structures we build, they create distrust, and we should build on trust. Second is we have to, all the time, we have to go back again on why are we doing this. So we have to reflect on it, we have to rethink it and improve it. And then all the time the nurses are also invited to think about how can we deliver this best possible care. So the needing principle, the rethinking principle, and then the third one, the common sense principles. That's all in a book of Shada Nandram. She was one of the first speakers in this conference. She did research on our model and wrote a book about it. It's called Organizational Innovation by Integrating Simplification. So this whole world is becoming more and more complex, as we all, I think, as we all experience. And we should want to simplify things. If you simplify things, things are much better to oversee by everybody, and everybody can contribute. So I thank you, Sharda, for doing this research and becoming a dear friend of mine. After a few years, we got interest from a lot of countries all over the world. So we are working with 25 partners in different countries all over the world. And the principles of this way of thinking are everywhere the same. So it doesn't matter if you are living in Brazil, we have a partner in Brazil, or in China, or in Taiwan, or Japan. In all these countries, and I traveled everywhere, and I visited patients everywhere, the problems are the same. So we should focus on the things that are similar everywhere. We should not focus on differences, but on things that are the same, and try to get people together and build bridges between people. And that's what nurses do. They are very, very good in building bridges. And then a level higher, we have to heal the systems, because throughout the years we created sick systems, in my idea. So there are systems that are not creating health anymore, but are creating diseases. So we are not eating healthy food, we are not eating we are eating too much medicine. So, oh, I got the message that my time is up, and I'm only halfway. I want to share one more slide and then I will go. This is the future. As I said, I'm going to retire at the end of the year, but I said I'm going to do one more project. And I want to create communities where everybody is caring for each other. We are doing now a big project in the Netherlands. We get subsidized by the government. And we want to start with 100 neighborhoods that we transform into caring communities. And when this 100 communities, we do this with 16 competitors. So we do this in a way that we learn from it. And when we have achieved this in these 100 communities, we go to 1,000 and then we go to 10,000. That's the way we're going to transform, next step of transforming healthcare in the Netherlands. I thank you very much for your attention and afternoon. Thank you.